Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the 2021 Vogt Awards Demo Day. Now, the Vogt Invention and Innovation Fund was started by Henry Heiser Sr. in 1999. He did it with the express purpose of ensuring the economic health of Louisville by supporting its entrepreneurs, making sure that their ideas and aspirations and projects and companies were able to succeed. And for 20 years, the signature effort of this fund has been the Vogt Awards. Today, we are celebrating the recent class who is here to demonstrate their projects. Now, this fund was started with $5 million. Today, it stands at $5 million. And yet, we have supported nearly 100 companies and distributed over $4 million. That is the power of endowment. And it's where the Community Foundation comes in. We are experts at stewarding philanthropic funds, and we've been a proud partner with the Vogt Awards to make sure that it continues to grow and that its program continues to deepen, because this is way more than seeding funds for these companies. It's about mentorship. It's about coaching. And I want to congratulate all those that have been involved this year and in the past years to make sure that this great program continues to move along. Now, I need your help today. We would love for you to help us get the word out about these great companies and these great ideas and these great young people. So if you're enjoying this, please like and share this stream and tag us at hashtag Vogt Awards and CF Louisville. And I just really want to congratulate everyone involved in this before we get going. And now introduce Lisa Bajornis, the director of the Vogt Awards.
Welcome to the 2021 Vogt Invention and Innovation Awards Demo Day. Yes! Thank you. Yes! So exciting. So exciting. What a great day. I'm Lisa Bajornis, the director of the Vogt Awards Accelerator, and I'm serving as your announcer this year for our live pitches by our extraordinary 2021 Vogt Award recipients. Thank you for joining us live, and again, welcome to our in-person audience. All right, here it comes. First up, Black UX Labs. They're matching Black and Brown user experience, or UX, practitioners and designers with hiring managers. And they're doing this through a really fun and innovative professional connection platform. On your feet, let's go, warm it up. A huge welcome for Amber Fields.
Thank you all so much. My name is Amber Fields, and I am the CEO and founder of Black UX Labs. We are an unmatched community of Black tech talent working with companies who want to diversify their employment culture. We challenge our community and companies to encourage audacity by building products and breaking barriers. So, who are we? Between myself, Jarvis Moore, and Tiffany Williams, we collectively have 25 years experience in recruiting, hiring, and building products and user experience, also known as UX. Now, the reason I want to introduce you to us is because when I worked with When I worked with top tech companies such as Google and Amazon living in Los Angeles and New York, I often felt isolated and misunderstood. Even though I had a seat at the table, I was often the only Black person in the room. So I looked for a community that I could be a part of, and I couldn't find one. But in typical Amber fashion, I created one. That's where I met Jarvis and Tiffany. Now, after doing years of research trying to find out why I couldn't find all the black people in the room, that's because I realized there weren't any. We only make up 7% of tech talent. Now, if you're familiar at all with user experience, that is a subset of tech. We are the people who build the apps and the websites that you use every day. Now, out of that subset of UX, we only make up 3% of that subset. So the number just keeps getting smaller and smaller. And that number hasn't changed in over 50 years. So baby, we got to do better. Now, if you're also aware, in addition to the lack of diversity, we're in the midst of what they call the Great Resignation. That means people that are in mid to senior level talent levels are leaving their jobs, workloads, burnout. They're like, timeout, I gotta go. But what I've realized was that companies were still looking for user experience skill sets. They still needed people who knew how to build the apps and the websites, because when the pandemic hit, companies realized they couldn't rely on in-person experiences anymore. So guess what happened? They needed to hire. Where could you go to find such people? Maybe you could go to the Black UX Labs marketplace. We connect hiring managers, tech recruiters, diversity and inclusion officers to multicultural talent. Now, how do we do that? Well, for the past 2 years, I have been creating a community which has now grown to over 1,000 plus Black tech talent. Now, I say multicultural and Black in tandem because we definitely are mixed now, but the majority of us are African American. And we're split between 50-50 male and female, but the majority of our group are mid to senior talent professionals. Guess who's looking for them? Hiring managers. So how do you get access to this talent and these candidates? Well, we offer 2 options. You have a self-serve option where you can actually go to our blackuxjobs.com website, post your job there, and our community can apply at their own convenience. Or if you're looking for more of a tailored approach, maybe you actually need somebody like yesterday, you can actually use our Black UX Labs recruiting services where we screen those individuals for you to make life just a little easier, present you with talent profiles so that actually you can hire quicker than you normally would. Now, what's the opportunity? Well, the world recruiting industry is made up of about $200 billion right now. And the US alone, that's about a $13 billion industry. And believe it or not, it pays to be Black. The Black tech diversity recruiting realm is has an initial TAM of $3 billion. That means people are looking to diversify their employment culture because people are looking for those tech recruiters who actually have access to Black talent. So with our initial focus of African American individuals, which we do hope to expand one day, we have an initial TAM of $3.8 billion. Now, I don't know about you all, but I'm slightly country. I am a girl from Kentucky, so let's talk about what our magic is at Black UX. My grandmother's favorite recipe was biscuits and gravy. Now, just like biscuits, Black UX Labs is nothing without our community. And to keep our community engaged, we offer block party events, which are sometimes virtual, which you could check out in the back at our table. Or we offer short-term opportunities that are like gigs, contracts, full-time opportunities, or education and training. But like I said, the biscuits are nothing without the gravy. So you need the sauce. And what's our sauce? Well, because we have this community, we're able to offer hiring managers and tech recruiters the option of filling talent requests, screening that talent, and then again, providing them with talent profiles. So what's our go-to market strategy? Well, right now, if you can see closely, on the left-hand side, we focus on our multicultural talent. That, so far, we've used social media and email because that's where our community lives, is in the social world. We don't have to work too hard to find them. And probably should go for those 50 years that they've gone by with the lack of talent, that maybe if we tried just a little harder to find the Black people, we probably could have. So with our social media and email inbounding, we have the opportunity to reach that community through block parties, newsletters, and talent directories. And for our company partners, we have the opportunity to reach them through email, networking, social media, and referrals. And then we invite them to those block parties because it's a party that everybody wants to come to. And then, of course, you can meet us on our website at Black UX Jobs, where you can post those jobs. Now, our competitors, we don't look at them quite like competitors. They're more like colleagues in our neighborhood. So, in Black terms, this is our colleagues on the block. Now, we have our Black Tech Pipeline, our Black Tech Talent, and Mem Connect. We all do similar things, and that is amplifying the voices of Black tech talent, but we focus on different audiences. Black UX Labs specifically focuses on user experience professionals. And just like those resignations, we have a bit of 2 words that have run off the screen here, so don't worry about that. I'll fill in those gaps. But we are able to identify and stand out by offering training, job boards, company-sponsored events, and recruitment to individuals that allow our tech professionals to get more of a specific and niche access to hiring managers. So how are we doing this? With a hope and a prayer and Vogt Award money. So come November, we are looking forward to a soft product launch of our blackuxjobs.com website. Between December and January, we'll plan to do some more research and development, have a baby, and then come back in February for our public launch, where we hope to then have a more refined product to offer some of our clients. Now, for the ask. We're asking for more non-dilutive grants. And if anybody here who actually has the opportunity to know me, I'm a Wu-Tang fan. So we're doing this thing similar to Wu-Tang. Yeah, that's right. We are independent. We are consciously bootstrapping this effort because we believe that we can build the revenue that we are looking for through our community and through our companies. But engagement is currency also. So please, refer a friend. If you know companies who are looking to increase their talent pool and maybe even diversify their employment, please bring them to blackuxjobs.com, connect with us on social media, sponsor a block party event, and even sign up for our newsletter at findblackux.com, because together we think it's important to build products and break barriers. Thank you all.
Much, Amber, thank you. And next up, we have Gluconfidence. They're improving the outcomes and reducing the daily burden of insulin-taking people with diabetes through a combination of both real-time data as well as automated glucose delivery. So, on our feet, here we go. Let's give a big warm welcome to Brian Olivier.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm Brian Olivier, and I'm the founder of Gluconfidence, and we're personalized, precise glucose management for people with diabetes. So in March of 2005, I was serving in active duty in the U.S. Navy as a helicopter pilot. When I started losing weight and started feeling sick, I went to the doctor, and I found out that I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And the diagnosis changed my life. I was medically discharged from the Navy and then had to learn how to live with a chronic disease while taking insulin. Despite the diagnosis, I was determined to stay as healthy as possible. I found that exercise helped me manage my blood sugar levels. The challenge that I was having, though, is that while I was working out, I was experiencing a lot of low blood sugar events. For a person with diabetes, a low blood sugar event can be a really scary thing. And so I ran with a backpack. I had a backpack full of gummy bears and candy and Snicker bars. And I remember thinking, this just doesn't make sense. I'm living with a chronic disease every single day, and I'm managing it with junk food. Is anybody else having this challenge? And so as I talked to other people with diabetes, I found out that other people were struggling with a similar thing, and that this was a problem that I wanted to solve. So a quick show of hands, how many people in the room have a family member or friend who has diabetes? Okay. So diabetes is a challenging disease. It requires over 300 decisions a day to manage food, insulin, blood glucose checks, exercise, stress that have an impact on your blood sugar. A normal person without diabetes has blood glucose ranges between about 70 to 180 milligrams per deciliter. You can see here, someone with diabetes has much more variation. Just like I was experiencing when I had a low blood sugar while working out, an extreme low blood sugar can result in a hospitalization or ER visit. And when I would treat that sometimes with the junk food and candy and those options, I would spike after that low to then go into the high blood glucose range, which then has damage to your microvascular organs and also can drive excessive insulin usage and high costs. And so it's a constant roller coaster that you're managing and trying to deal with each day. It's no surprise then there's a staggering cost of diabetes in the US of over $360 billion per year. The average person with diabetes drives 2.3 times the cost of a person without diabetes to the US healthcare system, and 1 in 10 Americans have diabetes, while 1 in 3 today have pre-diabetes. Along with the growth and evolving changes with diabetes and the growth over the past few years, there's also been evolving technologies. So historically, blood glucose meters were used to check your blood sugar. You'd prick your finger with a pen, you would put a drop of blood on a test strip, wait a couple seconds, and get your blood glucose readings. You generally would know your blood sugars 2 to 3 times a day. Any time in between then, you had no idea where your blood sugar was going. We're in the midst of a technology revolution right now in diabetes, and that's called continuous glucose monitoring, or CGM. What that is a small patch you wear on your arm. It reads your blood sugar and sends it to your smartphone every 5 minutes. So you get 288 readings per day of your blood sugar trends to help you greater awareness of what your blood sugars are. So we have 2 trends going. We have this growth of technology, this innovation of awareness around what your blood sugar is, and then we have a real need to better manage low blood glucose events for people with diabetes, and that's why we created GlucoConfidence. So GlucoConfidence is a monthly glucose subscription service. It's a combination of both a consumer product, which is a 2-ounce certified organic, all-natural liquid glucose that's fast-acting, has 15 grams of fast-acting carb, and is shipped to your house every single month. We combine that with technology, an application that pulls your CGM data and it can analyze that data, provide insights, and then optimize your specific monthly orders on your personalized glucose trends to make it seamless and to help with your day-to-day management of diabetes. And so our goal here is to reduce the daily burden of diabetes, improve outcomes, and reduce the costs of managing this disease. Traction so far, we've launched product. We have a monthly subscription model today. We're getting people subscribing. We have great feedback around the flavor and the convenience of the product in the market. And then from a tech standpoint, we're collecting a ton of data on the beta version of our application. What we're showing, this is 30 days, a full month of a real world of someone with diabetes, a type 1 on our app. And if you're healthy, your blood glucose would be in the range of that green bar right there. What we're seeing here is extreme amount of variability over these 30 days. And you can see what we're showing here and what we're proving with our data is our hypothesis that 1, people are having a lot of low blood sugar events. This person right here had 38 low blood sugar events in just 1 month. And not only that, but most of the time, the majority of times when they treat those low blood sugar events, they're over-treating them, resulting in a spike on the back end and blood sugars in the 200 to 300s. What that's doing is driving microvascular damage to all of their organs and also driving excessive costs and insulin usage. This is a major issue and is impacting millions of people in the US every single day. GlucoConfidence is going to be that healthy, predictable, stable glucose. It's going to be automated orders to your house every single month so you have it on you at all times. It can help you better manage your diabetes without having those post-low spikes that can do the damage to your organs. Our teams, myself, I have several years in the medical device industry and CPG and sales. We have our tech team of Barrett Jones and Shane Evans, who are both computer engineers, have front-end, back-end development skills and database skills. And then in marketing, Laura Kenning, who has experience with digital marketing in the tech and startup space. Market size, $360 billion is the total available market today. We are focused on the $4.1 billion market that is the intensively managed type 1 and type 2 diabetics that are taking insulin every single day to manage their diabetes and struggling with low blood glucose events. That's about a $4.1 billion market covering about 5 million people. And those costs are split between hospitalizations and ER visits and excessive insulin usage that is needed when you overtreat a low and then need to take more insulin to get back down into the normal range of blood glucose. Our business model in phase 1 is direct to consumer. We're going direct to consumer right now with a monthly subscription model. Initial margins are about 45%. As we grow in scale and get more volume on our subscription service, we'll go into 89% margins. Diabetes is a chronic disease, so our goal is to provide value for life. And so our goal is to get with our membership and really provide this value ongoing for a lifetime. Order quantities today are available in 3, 6, and 12-month subscriptions, and our focus markets are parents with children who take insulin, active adults with type 1, and then type 2 diabetics who are seeking healthier options to manage their diabetes. Our go-to-market we'll start with phase 1 as the B2C through e-commerce online. We're doing digital marketing and email marketing today. And as we build our subscription service and collect more and more data points, we will go into health plans and then go into self-insured employer groups as we grow and develop. Competition, there's junk food and a lot of other options that are out there. But as we interview people who currently manage their diabetes, 72% are not satisfied with their current methods of treating their low blood sugar events. There's a huge need for this so we can improve the quality of life and provide a healthier alternative with no extra calories, carbs, corn syrup, things that people are using to constantly manage a chronic disease. As I said before, it just doesn't make sense. From a tech standpoint, there are other diabetes management companies out on the market today. They focus mainly on a tech side and a remote coaching. Where GlucoConfidence differentiates ourselves is we are a real product, a real consumer product combined with tech. And so doing that, we can better manage those extreme low blood sugar events with a consistent product, could give better insights and drive better outcomes. The magic here, so if you have diabetes, for someone living with diabetes, glucose can be as essential to your life as insulin. And our goal and our mission here is really to provide that personalized, automated monthly subscription to reduce a little bit of the burden of what it is to live with this disease every day, make life easier and healthier, and improve outcomes. So thank you for your time. If you can, spread the word about GlucoConfidence, and thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. Great job. All right, we're on a roll here, folks. Legal Gantt, they provide law firms with a client portal, and so that helps facilitate communication, the status of cases, and the progress that a case is making. So with that, on your feet, join me cheering, hooting, and hollering. Please welcome Hishem Alsalman.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone. So hello, everyone. My name is Hishem Alsalman, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Legal Gantt. Now, while I was working at various law firms, we used to receive a ridiculous amount of phone calls that, it was clients asking us for status updates of their cases. So on average, it was actually, attorneys were spending over 25% of their time on, following up with these clients and providing them with a brief update on their case's progress. However, sometimes their case may have not had much progression due to events beyond the attorney's control. These 2 hours a day can actually cost the law firm and an attorney over $100,000 a year in lost revenue, especially if they're an attorney that works on a flat fee or contingency basis. Now, most of you may know the attorneys that are charging you on an hourly rate. A lot of us are very familiar with that, especially when you operate in a business. However, there's a large number of attorneys that actually help individuals in underrepresented communities that charge the flat fee or contingency basis, which actually causes inefficiencies and complications. Not only are these attorneys losing time, money, and clients to the inefficient communication, but they may sometimes even get sanctioned by the Bar Association as a result. And that is why we invented Legal Gantt. Legal Gantt provides law firms with an online platform to facilitate safer communication, status updates, and improve workflow through a mobile and web application. Now, our software basically provides the client with a roadmap of the progress of their case and give them the ability to see any upcoming calendar events and keep track of actions that may need to be completed either by them or the attorney. So now the client no longer has to chase after their lawyer contacting them via email, phone, or text, but instead they can actually just go into our app and be able to see their progress and no longer feel left in the dark. Now, let me introduce you all to the team that is actually making this happen. So again, I am the founder and CEO of Legal Gantt. My legal background allows me to understand the attorney's side as well as the client's perspective to provide an efficient solution for both the attorney and the client. Carlos is a CTO and co-founder of Gantt. His background in back-end development and system architecture allows us to truly build a strong technological solution to serve the legal community. And Kate Hatter is our Chief Marketing Officer. As an experienced marketer with a background in sales and marketing integration, she brings an innovative approach to brand building. Now, when we're thinking about the legal tech market as a whole, it is actually a $17.2 billion industry that is growing at a rapid 28% annual growth rate. They anticipate that by 2025, it is estimated that it will actually be a it'll be a $25 billion industry. In the US alone, there are actually over 1.3 million attorneys. But out of that 1.3, we're actually solely targeting around 600,000 attorneys in law firms that range from 1 to 9 attorneys, and these are considered smaller firms. And the reason behind this is that we're starting with these smaller law firms to give us the ability to actually enter the market, test our solution, gain direct feedback from the consumer to help us reach those larger firms in the near future. Now, our solution is actually offered to these law firms at $35 per month per user. And as you can see here, the user, it consists of the attorney, the paralegal, the legal staff member, anyone that's within that law firm. So this year, we've actually had a lot of progress that I'm very proud to talk about. We've actually released our MVP in April. We received our first, devoted attorney. We've continued to grow that, and been able to actually acquire enough lawyers that provide us with direct feedback every single day. So that helps us in releasing in the next coming weeks, our version 1.2 of the software that contains a major amount of improvements that incorporates what these attorneys have told us, and just based on things that they've directly provided us. So as you can see, we've actually grown our usage over the past few months. I know it looks small, but we have actually, to us, this is major growth, this is progress. We've obtained these users by presenting continued legal education courses, social media marketing, and you'd be surprised, actually, there's a lot of lawyers on Instagram. You would never expect that. And additionally, we've actually received a lot of client referrals. So now we understand that most of the times, lawyers are not often known as one of the most tech-savvy individuals, so they're very reluctant to test out a new software, especially if it's one that demands a team of staff members to begin using it like our competitors. So what we've done at Gantt is we've actually simplified the process to where they can actually begin using our software in less than 5 clicks. You go ahead and start your free trial today, And so how we've accomplished this is by integrating with existing case management systems that are already being utilized by these law firms. It's almost like their own internal CRM system, but we connect right to that so they don't have to double input that information. And this helps us speed up that onboarding process. And when we talk about our marketing strategy, we employ a strong marketing categorical disruption strategy to attract national attention from attorneys. And we do this by presenting at those bar associations, providing them those continued legal education courses, attending legal tech shows and conferences, and really being out there and showing them how we can help them improve their communication. Now, our estimated annual revenue, as you can see here, is based on our goal of acquiring 10% of our market by year 2026. This year, we've spent the majority of our time taking our software to market and actually obtaining direct consumer feedback, and to continue improving our solution. But we anticipate that, by the end of this year, we'll actually have over 45 law firms or users utilizing our software, and that by year 5, we will actually have we'll generate a total of $31 million per annual revenue. So to really obtain this goal, we're going to obtain the goal of actually getting 10% of our market. our company will need to raise a $700,000 pre-seed round, and this money will actually allow us to cover marketing costs, travel and entry fees to bar associations, conferences, tech shows, hire sales staff members, additional staff members, hire additional in-house developers, and add some more contractors. So now who's excited to revolutionize the legal industry and bring innovation to the ones that need it the most? To learn more, please feel free to check us out at legalgantt.com or just stop by and say hello. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Hishem. And now we have Simba. And Simba is providing real estate agents with a mobile-first CRM so that they can manage their business much better, so that they can provide a great level of customer service, and so that agents can close more deals. So let's stand up, cheer as loud as you can. You need the exercise. Please welcome Evan Knowles.
Hello, everybody. My name is Evan Knowles, co-founder and CEO of Symba. So our goal is to empower real estate agents into the future. So I want to start by talking about the market from a macro perspective. Right now, a lot of the funding and attention is being put on consumers. But if you kind of peel back the curtain, there's not a lot of attention being put on agents. And agents actually account for about 90% of the transaction in the real estate industry. So that means that 90% of the time a consumer, when they're buying or selling a home, is going to choose an agent. And right now, agents are not being provided great technology. And so on a micro level, with these agents, what we're seeing is despite the fact that they are the most mobile salesperson on the planet, their desktop-based software is not serving their needs. So what that means is their software is primarily built for a computer. And so what we're noticing is that due to these hectic on-the-go lifestyles that these agents have, it's hard for them to manage their business, stay on top of their sales opportunities, and serve their customers' expectations, which today are largely built around messaging and mobile experiences. So there's a few things I want you to understand about real estate agents before I get any further. Number one is that they're all entrepreneurs. They're self-employed contractors. They're 1099. So they are growing themselves startups in a way. Number two is they're all very busy. They're accountants, their operations, their sales. They're having to do every part of their business themselves. Sometimes if they get to a certain point, they can outsource that, but the majority of agents are covering that themselves. Number three, is that they're mobile. They don't sit behind a desktop. Most CRMs and most software, especially CRMs, are built for people that are paid to sit behind a computer all day. Real estate agents are mobile. They work in the car, they work from people's homes, they work from coffee shops. They need a mobile device. So number four is their whole business is revolving around relationships. Their business is built directly on engaged clients. And the better that they can engage clients, the better their business is going to be. Number five, they're not very tech savvy. So they're not used to using software. The average age of an agent is 55 years old. But that's changing. They're starting to adopt more software. And so it's our job to make sure that we give them just simple software. They're very busy people, so they need very simple software to do their job. And finally, they're under pressure. And so due to all that investment going into these consumer apps, agents are under pressure to give these clients and these consumers a high level of service. So we're making sure we can allow them to do that and empower them to do that. So it's our goal to empower real estate agents with mobile-first technology built for their phone, not for the desktop. And so it's our belief that you can't replace an agent with technology, so it's our job to empower them to serve their clients how they want to be served during their busy on-the-go life. So I want to take a second to talk about the long-term vision of what we're trying to do here. Step one is really to knock out the CRM. Every agent, whether they know it or not, needs a CRM. They're using their iPhone contacts, they're using Excel spreadsheets, they have a CRM, whether they pay for one or not. Many agents are paying for them. And so it's our job, number one, is to build the best CRM we can. Number two, as I mentioned, they're all 1099, so we want to help them with their finances. They're managing their own finances. And I'll get to more to this in a second. But by combining CRM with financial data and communication, we're viewing this as an agent operating system. And so that's phase two. And then finally, we want to go to enterprise and create a brokerage operating system. So what are some of our differentiators? Number one is we're the only mobile-first CRM in the industry. Number two is we're focusing on messaging. So agents and clients, their chosen communication channel is text messaging. And so we want to make sure that we empower agents with messaging focused features that are just for agents. A lot of agents right now are using their default text apps on their phone, and they don't have any kind of automation or agent-specific features, and we want to change that. There's no agent finance features, so again, agents are notoriously bad with personal finance, but it's an important part of their job. And then finally, frictionless mobile onboarding. So I'll get to more on this in a bit, but an agent can download the app on their phone and upsell within the app without having to use their desktop. And it's seamless. It can take a minute to onboard. To focus more on the messaging piece, we want to augment these agents with messaging. So the chosen communication channel is text messaging. And so a few things we can help them with automations-wise is they can schedule texts, they can schedule text drips to stay in contact with their clients, they can set appointment reminders. So if there's an upcoming appointment, you can text your client without you having to send that yourself. Transaction updates, automated listing updates. If a home hits the market, rather than send an email and your client not look at that, just text that to them automatically based on what their criteria is. And finally, behavior reporting. So if you want to know what your response rate is, who you're talking to the most, what segment of your client base are you talking to the most, you can get that kind of reporting. Now, it's really important to understand that when you buy a CRM, it's actually useless. Most CRMs take a lot of effort to configure to your particular business and workflow. But for an agent, our goal is to have an agent download it and immediately find use and value. And so because we've gone niche to an agent, they're able to download and immediately get value from lead entering the funnel to sales and commission data. So ideally, a lead will enter an agent's funnel from their website, Zillow, Realtor.com. They can convert them into a client after communicating with them and winning that client. They can manage that client throughout the rest of the life cycle of the transaction. They can manage the transaction and the rest of the data in an audit trail. And finally, they can view projections on their commission, their earned commission, their closed volume, and the projections on their volume. And right now, agents don't have a tool to project their commissions. They have to do it by a calculator or Excel spreadsheet. There's not a way for them to pull up their phone and understand, how much money am I going to make over the next several months. To focus more on the finance piece just for a minute, again, agents are independent contractors. They have to report and track all their expenses, all their income, and understand what their P&L looks like at all times in order to file their quarterly taxes. So it's our goal to make sure that they have the tools they need to track that income and expenses, understand what their tax calculations might be and projections, and then eventually we want to get to a point where we're actually filing taxes for these agents on their behalf. A lot of agents are overpaying for CPAs, or they're overpaying for software that they're just not using, like QuickBooks, when we want to integrate that into the CRM and the pipeline data so they can get a complete picture of their entire business from their pocket. Competition, there's several competitors out there that are also building niche solutions for these agents, but none of them are mobile first, and that's a big key. So none of them have taken a mobile first approach. All of them are built on communication around email, so they're not taking a communication first approach on mobile via text messaging, Facebook message. Again, they're built for desktop, and email is desktop native, messaging's mobile native, so we want to focus on that. There's no agent finance features. Again, the finance portion of an agent's life is completely fragmented from the CRM. We believe that those should be hand in hand. And then finally, high friction onboarding. A lot of these CRMs are treating these agents as if they're enterprise buyers. They're not. They're not going to want to go through a negotiation. They're not going to want to see a demo. Our goal is you go to the App Store, you download it, you onboard in 2 or 3 minutes, and you're ready to go get value out of the platform and win more clients. The TAM, these are conservative numbers. There's actually 3 million registered real estate agents in the United States. Most of them, if you take that 3 million number, are part-time. So we wanted to cut this number and be conservative with this. And so there's about 1 million independent realtors in the United States. There are several up there. Small percentage of them are on teams or within brokerages that are team-based. But we're focused initially on independent realtors, which is the largest part of the market. As you can see, it's a natural bottoms-up market. So we want to attack that with product-led growth, which is a perfect way to attack a bottoms-up market. So what that means is an agent can come into Symba for free, download it on their phone, get free value, and then as their business grows or as their needs change, they can download or upsell, rather, into other tiers and features. For instance, integrated communication, SMS, Facebook Messenger, voice, voicemail, and then if they want to automate some of that communication, that can be an additional tier, and then finances are not even mentioned here. So there's a good amount of ways we can monetize these agents, but we want to start with free value first. The team, there's myself. I've scaled startups before, and I have invested in real estate. I've also built a media company here in Kentucky, and I have a deep understanding of the CRM space. So my background is tech sales, within startups. I've taken a startup from $0 to $10 million in sales, and I was deep into the Salesforce and HubSpot world. Again, those are desktop-based, so it's been fun to try to take those concepts and take them mobile. There's Ryan Harris, my other co-founder. He's a top agent here in Kentucky. He's with the top brokerage in Kentucky. He's with the top 30 RE/MAX brokerage in the world. He's closed over $20 million in transactions. He has a deep understanding of agent needs. He has a large real estate network. There's Tanner Wilcox. He's a world-class product designer. He's here in Lexington as well. He's built apps for PayPal, for WebEx, AT&T Mobile. He's also designed prop tech companies, or prop tech applications, rather. And then finally, there's Jay Pitts. This is recent. We just brought him onto the team as a strategic advisor. He is one of the top real estate brokers in the United States. He's sold over 3,500 homes. He also has a mortgage company, so as we expand, as we grow our business, we'll have a lot of great insights. And he's also a mentor, an influencer in the market, and has a very large reach. When an agent or a large brokerage is trying to adopt technology, a lot of them actually call on him and his brokerage to understand what they're using because he's created such a good system. So where are we at? We launched in mid-2020. We've done an insane amount of customer discovery. We built up a wait list, got over 100 agents on that wait list, launched those agents, got a great amount of feedback. They're actually viewing this as a net new platform. It's not just a CRM, it's a mobile application. It's a mobile platform is how they're viewing this. Now we have over 200 downloads. We're generally available in the App Store. We're currently raising our pre-seed round. And that's it. You can contact us with this information.
Thank you so much, Evan. All right, folks, we are at number 5. Let me tell you about Timeout. They're developing a mobile app that uses both AI and gamification to improve athlete mental health. And they do this through personal recommendations and therapy-based exercises. So on your feet, let's give a really loud welcome, Maya McClendon.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Hi, everyone. My name is Maya McClendon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Timeout, the future of mental health care delivery for athletes and universities. It's very nice to meet you all. It's great to see you all out here. If my name looks familiar to you all, it could be because I was a volleyball player at the University of Louisville and Arizona State University. In 2017, I graduated with my degree in pre-medicine and psychology and started my brand new shiny life as a non-athlete. At that time, I was absolutely grinding. For 6 months straight, 8 hours a day, I was memorizing 800-page textbooks for the MCAT. And one day, I get a call. One of my dear friends and former teammates had died by suicide. This changed my life forever. And even though I knew this was happening, nobody talked about it. And I literally could not move forward without finding a solution. So to give you an idea of what my life was like as a captain of 2 D1 universities, I had 4:30 a.m. mandatory breakfast, 18-hour days, 7 days a week, per season. My life was completely micromanaged. And the culture was, don't cry, don't complain, and absolutely under no circumstance do you show any weakness. This led me to my own mental health emergency. What I needed was someone to help me pause, take a deep breath, and take a time out for myself. But even back then, that wasn't really an option. In the past year, we've all heard from the world's most elite athletes about their mental health struggles. Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka. If this is happening to them, what do you think is happening to college athletes and younger? But this isn't new. In 2013, the chief medical officer of the NCAA declared mental illness a crisis, as research showed it was the #1 self-reported issue, and suicide was the 3rd leading cause of death for athletes. But why aren't athletes getting the help they need? Number 1, athletes don't want to show weakness, so they don't reach out for help. Number 2, when they do reach out for help, resources can be too expensive, too difficult to get to, or wait times can be too long. Number 3, care teams may only have 1 mental health provider per program, which allows athletes to slip through the cracks. And lastly, athletes need licensed providers who understand the unique stressors that athletes face compared to regular students. What universities are doing now is not good enough. We can do better. So what's the solution? Timeout is a digital health platform that connects athletes to on-demand, in-person, and virtual resources. It uses HIPAA-compliant privacy protection guidelines so that athletes' data are safe and protected, and they feel safe to start their mental health journey. At Timeout, we offer program evaluations, 2 app subscriptions, and onboarding and customer services for sports programs. And after using Timeout, our customers should expect that athletes have improved overall mental resilience, that mental health care teams feel more confident to make a positive impact, and parents, coaches, and universities are more conscious and feel better prepared to help athletes' mental health. So by now, you're probably thinking, okay, Maya, what is it? What's Timeout? So I like to use this kind of demo example. Imagine Jimmy. He's a soccer player at the University of Louisville, and he's been injured, and he's going through a really tough time. His university will have already paid for him and his teammates to have the Timeout app. So he's taken a baseline assessment to see where he's starting and what mental health risks he may have. The Timeout algorithm will direct him to clinically tested, recommended resources that help educate and empower athletes. And Jimmy has set his mood check-ins for after practice to improve his emotional intelligence and emotional regulation. And in just a couple clicks of a button, he can access emergency resources, in the case of a mental health emergency, to non-emergent self-help tools. His mental health provider on the other side, on the Care Team app, can get real-time feedback and athlete triaging of Jimmy and his teammates. And they can also create non-personalized, encrypted reports to send to other university staff members. The mental health app market is massive and growing, but we're mainly focused on the 500,000 student athletes in the NCAA, which gives a potential of about $150 million per year. We will eventually move into adjacent markets with youth and professional athletes in the US and globally. At Timeout, we offer a tiered per-user subscription model to offer a variety of different services. Our focus, university contracts, billed annually at $25 per user per month, plus an additional startup fee. So to give an idea of what this looks like at each university, the University of Kentucky has a $148 million athletic department budget. $36 million of that is used for medical expenses, and 0.5 or 5% of that is used for mental health, which would give us about $1.8 million a year. So if UK athletes are using Timeout, it would only cost their athletic department $135,000 a year. That is extremely affordable. So at a very, very conservative pace of 12 schools per year, we project that we will be cash flow positive by August 2022. And I know that's a big number for the annual revenue rate. You ever get trigger happy with the zeros? Our annual revenue rate is $1.6 million a year. And again, this is at conservative rate. So we understand our market. We know there are a lot of options out there right now. However, we are the only mobile solution that is athlete-specific, offers frictionless appointment scheduling, and is integrated with any care model. We also differentiate ourselves by being easily accessible, affordable, with real-time triaging. And our unfair advantage is our Timeout software and algorithm, which has been designed over the course of 3 years of investigative research with our advisory board members and industry professionals and providers. On top of that, we're an app made for athletes by athletes. So we have a deep domain expertise and an extensive network within the sports ecosystem. And we're confident that we can go to market with word of mouth alone, but we plan to scale by making partnerships with the NCAA and other sports organizations. We're also building a wait list, so go to thetimeoutapp.com and sign up. So one thing is, we are extremely confident about the capabilities of our team. We have professional athletes, we have very experienced software developers and designers, and researchers. Our advisory board members are comprised of industry leaders and world-renowned researchers and practitioners, including Dr. Shannon Lancaster of the Mayo Clinic and Pac-12 Mental Health Task Force, and Louisville's own Dr. Peter Bucher of Norton Healthcare. We also have a very new but growing ambassador program. Nick Solek is the second baseman of the Texas Rangers, and gold medalist Chiaka Ogbogu of the women's volleyball national team. Earlier this year, we completed our MVP testing, which gave us the insights and the research to build our critical features and our first version of our algorithm. And now we have our very first contract underway. It's just so exciting. And 2 more behind that. So we've started product development. By the end of this month, we're planning to close that first contract. And by the end of the year, those 2 contracts will be closed as well. In January 2022, mark your calendars, that's launch day. And at the end of that year, our hopes are to solidify those 12 university contracts, hire a head of sales and marketing, really focus on those 2 research grants, and begin engagement with the NCAA. Our fundraising goals are really focused on research grants and industry investors who are vision and mission aligned. But we plan to use most of our funds on growth and marketing and development for the next few features. Our goal, ultimately, is to make sure every single one of those 500,000 student athletes gets the mental health resources that they deserve. So no one gets that call. Not a mother, not a father, not a friend, not a coach, athletic director, not a teammate. So please go to our website, follow us, donate, come talk to me after this, and support our mission to save athlete lives, and let's redefine mental toughness together. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Maya. All right, we are in the home stretch. We are right there, so we're going to bring it home. Yornest is developing a group messaging platform that brings the fun of social media into group chats. So one last time, I know you got it in you. Let's give it up for Michael Brizendine.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, everyone. Most of you here probably somehow are in some type of group chats, maybe like 1 to 5 people, a group chat with your family or a group chat with friends. And what we are doing at Yornest, we are basically building an app that advances messaging by improving group chats for large social groups. Like I said, if you're in any type of group chats with like at least 10 people, you can think about how annoying it can get sometimes when you have at least even 5 people inside that group chat. That is very engaging. So one of the things that's starting happening over the last 5 years, a lot of people are moving their social groups, which are even like larger group chats. So this will be like, if you're like in a university, you would have like, let's say you're in a fraternities or sororities, it would be like the type of group chats that you're in. And we usually use like social media apps for this type of group chats. But we are moving those over to messaging apps now just because of how public social media can be and how it's become unrealistic to share it intimately there all the time with everyone we've ever met. I'm showing in the screen an example of a group chat. It's a social group chat that has over 100 people into it and GroupMe. You can imagine how impersonal it can be. Someone sent a text, the next 50 texts that get sent, it's like a reply to that, and you who's opened your app for the first time, you have to just shuffle your way through to get to where that main text thread was. It can get noisy, and the number one thing that it leads to, it's basically leading a user to either mute the group chat or just leave the group chat in general. So after being in many of those group chats with over 100 people myself, I quickly realized there was a need for a platform or a product that's basically give user a better experience for large social group chats, especially after seeing the trend of how we are using group chats more as our social circles today rather than social media themselves. So basically what we're doing is taking the best part out of messaging apps, which is instant, it's direct, you just get the content and consume it very quick because we usually just check our messaging apps very daily. Combining it with our social media content capabilities, which means when you're posting into it, as you can see on the screen, it's almost like you have a feed. You go to your groups, you navigate into one of them, almost like look like a social media app, but you are inside a group chat, which is like your own private social groups. For those of you who use Slack, it's like Slack for consumers, or if you ever use Facebook group, it's kind of like Facebook group, but outside of Facebook. Where we were doing that, make it very intuitive for larger, you can have 1 million of people inside a group chat, which we call them nest and Yornest, and it's never get really annoying, just because we are applying all the basics features that actually make having a large people socializing in one space, being able to just have multi-threads where someone can make a post, conversation can continue there without having, unlike just traditional messaging apps, someone sends something, everything that you reply to that has to be in the feed. And also just notifying user with content that actually matter to their attention. The team itself, I'm the co-founder and CEO. I'm a software engineer who's worked on various large-scale products before, as well as my co-founder. He's Shaq O'Neill. He's the co-founder and CTO, and as well as a software engineer who was the last work at Checkmate, which is a European dating app that's got scaled to over 1 million users, as well as Todd Brizendine, who developed his own startups before, got a great exit, and now running his second business for the last 10 or so years. Our target users, we've launched not too long ago and finding ourselves growing largely into campus universities, where fraternities and sororities or different groups, organizations on campuses are finding the app to be a perfect fit for the type of social life that they do on campus. Now, on our university campus, we have GroupMe that we use for like the end-of-day classroom. I mean, it works perfect for that. You're in a math 101 class, you need GroupMe. But when it comes to like the social lives that happen outside of campus, we also use GroupMe, but it sucks for that. And being able for them to find that value, how they can have a private social space on there, they find it to be a fit solution for the type of things that they do. And we're doing that by basically allowing students to connect with their .edu. For example, if you go to UVL University, you connect with your UVL.edu, and anyone on UVL who's on the app can find or communicate with you who's like on that same identity. We also have a private group, which we call them Nest. It's basically where you can socialize with your friends and families, and as well as a creator Nest, which is a place where an influencer or a creator can basically have a channel to where any of their audience can come and follow them and receive direct engagement from them. Our business models, the app is going to be freemium, supported by ads revenue. The way we are doing video in the app, it's a very unique way that's going to allow us to basically place 5 to 10 seconds video clips between those videos when users are scrolling to them. If you are looking at how people are doing different type of ads today, you can see video clip, just short video clip ads is just one of the big things today, as well as being able to put ads in public Nest, which is the creator type Nest, to where when users are scrolling to content, just seamlessly placing ads between those contents. To look at our competitors, GroupMe and Discord are the two type of platform that's come the closest to us. But again, GroupMe, it's great for one-to-one conversation, small group chats, 5 to 10 people. When you talk about 50 people inside a group chat, they simply don't have the user experience needed to match. Discord, they do something pretty similar, but they are serving a whole different community, which is the gaming space. Our traction so far, we've launched our very first version of the product not too long ago, last September. So far, I've grown to almost 1,000 users now, and most of those users based on 3 different universities, University of Louisville, UK, and Birmingham University, which is where I went to university. We are only iOS, looking into launching our Android app very soon, but we are thinking that number gonna skyrocket quickly, as one of the things you can think about a group chat is different people can have different phone or operating system, and being able to serve both of them is a much needed. Our marketing strategy, so far it's been word of mouth that's get us that growth, but we are looking into paid marketing, such as advertising on either Instagram or TikTok, to where most of our target users will be at, as well as going directly to doing direct outreach to universities, to where we can go to different organizations on campuses and just being able to pitch to students the product. If you have an iPhone, you can download the app and just try it out with your friends and see how you can really improve on the old way that you've been doing group chat, as well as you can refer us to any communities that you know who's like looking for a direct way to engage in a much better fashions, or you can follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with us. Here's my email below, you can contact us, and that's it, to be honest.
Great job. Wow, wasn't that truly inspirational? Once again, I want to thank the recipients, but also the coaches and the mentors and all that have been involved with this incredible program. And most of all, thank you all for joining us And please remember, reach out to the founders, find out more about their ideas, and we'll see you next year.